Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the council meeting, June 6, 2023. The time being 6:30 p.m, I declare the ordinary council meeting of June 6, 2023 open. Just for our residents who are watching at home, we're not in our normal chambers this evening because we are doing wonderful renovations to our beautiful town hall, and we're here at our library in Abbotsford Road, Homebush. So that's why it looks a little bit different. So persons in the gallery advise that under the Local Government Act 1993, a person may not tape record the proceeding of a meeting of a council or committee without the authority of the council or committee. Tape recording device capable of recording speech. Mobile phones must be turned off so as not to disrupt the meeting. Anyone, including councillors, found using a mobile phone will be told to leave the meeting immediately and for the duration of the said meeting. Audio recording of this meeting will be taken for minute-taking purposes as authorised by the Local Government Act 1993. This meeting is being live streamed on Council's website to allow the community to follow Council debates and decisions without the need to attend meetings in person. Members of the public attending or speaking at the meeting agree to have their image, voice and personal information, including name and address, recorded and publicly broadcast. Strathfield Council does not accept liability for any defamatory remarks or inappropriate comments that are made during the course of the meeting. Any part of the meeting that is held in closed session will not be streamed. So if we could stand for the prayer. We pray that our deliberations today be objective and decisions are impartial, made for the benefit of our whole community. And in recognition of our traditional custodians, let us begin by acknowledging the Wangal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. So any apologies? Mr. Lamu?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I've received one apology from Councillor Maswaran late this evening.
Thank you very much. All right, disclosures of interest. I've got one here from Councillor Hall. Yes, could you?
I believe it's item CCS9.
Yep.
The small grant for the Rotary Club of Strathfield. I will be leaving the room as I am a member and also on the board of Strathfield Rotary.
Thank you. Any other Councillor Data?
The non-pecuniary significant interest for the item to be considered at EO2 and keep close to that place, about 500 meters away. So I'll be leaving the room.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Any other disclosures, councillors? All good. So acknowledgements. Any acknowledgements? I have one. Anyone else have an acknowledgement? Yes, Councillor Hall.
Do mine first? Okay, the acknowledgement that I have is I actually do want to acknowledge the councillors in the last session, including those here in this term and the ones in last term, and that's about the changing of the name from Belfield to South Strathfield. I do want to acknowledge that it's been a long process. It didn't just start in this term. It actually started in the last term, and it was something that the previous councillors were very passionate about. And in this term, the councillors continue to be very supportive, and so it was able to be continued, and the staff obviously did a great job in following that up. So I do want to acknowledge all the past term councillors, and especially I do want to acknowledge Councillor Blackmore, who lived in that area and was very passionate in getting the support there as well. But so it was a really united effort in the last term, and something that I know the last councillors would be very appreciative to be remembered. So, and if I remembered their names, Councillor Vicari, Councillor Leahy, Councillor Kokolas, Councillor Duggan, Councillor Nesapani, Councillor Blackmore, and myself.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Any other acknowledgements, councillors? No, I have one acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate our library team and open space team for their nominations in the local government awards that were held last week. Our library team was nominated for the innovative work on creating longer library hours for our residents. The hours have now increased to 84.5 hours per week and only staffed by 53 hours. And it extended our hours of operation here by 51 hours a week, which is a great result. An amazing result from the library staff, and even though we didn't win, I'm sure we will recognise their continued work making our library an especially important part of our community. Our open space team were nominated in the organisational diversity and inclusion category for their diversity in their team. Well done to both our teams, and we look forward to many more nominations next year because we're entering every category. Very much. So, confirmation of minutes from the May 22nd. Can I have a mover? Thank you, Ms. Councillor Blackmore. And a seconder, Councillor Reddy. All in favour? Unanimous vote. Thank you. And the extraordinary meeting on the 9th of May, Councillor Blackmore, Councillor Reddy, all in favour? Unanimous. So I have 3 mayoral minutes, councillors. Have we all read the mayoral minutes?
We have, Madam Mayor.
Good, but I will read them anyway.
I think we've all read them as read.
As read, yeah.
As read? Or do I need?
Especially not the rationale.
Sorry? Okay, so I move that it was all read and taken and the agreed recommendation. So I need a mover for the first one. Councillor Blackmore, seconder Councillor Hall. All in favour?
I do have a question. Yeah, sorry. My question is costs. When it says work with other Sydney councils, I actually would have liked a bit more information on that, on what that would have entailed.
Hang on one moment, councillor. Are you talking about the first motion or the second motion?
Oh, the first one. Hang on a second. The first one.
The first one is about the cost from the council, the levy.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Yes, so we're moving the first.
Sorry, the
mayoral minute. So the mayoral minute, the first mayoral minute, mover Councillor Blackmore, seconded by Councillor Hall. All in favour? Aye. Moving to the second mayoral minute, and I believe everyone's read the second one. I move that everyone's read. All in favour?
No.
No. Okay, good. So I need a mover to move it. Councillor Blackmore, Councillor Reddy, seconded. Councillor Hall?
Okay, so I would have liked a little bit more information on what the work with the other Sydney councils would have looked like. And I'm wondering whether, I do understand that it is part of the SS Rock, what we're doing there with them. So I'm wondering whether every time there is a meeting with the SS Rock and the mayor attends, whether we should have a report back, so that we report there's something back on this particular mayoral minute. And I'm just wondering whether there was any cost, whether there's a cost involved other than the membership of the SS Rock.
Thank you, councillor. Just let me just quickly look through the rationale and the recommendation. So, Mr. Mamo, can you confirm that when we meet with SS Rock and how the reporting system back to council would be, please?
Through you, Madam Mayor. So to answer the first question, there's no additional cost other than the membership. with SS Rock. So the Mayoral Summit was an initiative of the Rock and hosted by the Rock. I think it was at the town hall. What was your second
So
question?
when you attend or the mayor attends the meeting,
Yep.
I'm assuming that these are some of the things that will be discussed. Will there be a process where that will come back to?
We could certainly bring an update back to a councillor workshop.
Mainly if it,
Like that.
especially if there's a
Yes.
cost involved, of an extra cost.
Yeah. And look, certainly if there was a cost, officers would be bringing that back for council resolution to adopt. But where there is another meeting, we can make sure that there's updates provided at the council workshop.
Do we need to add it to your minutes?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think so. Thank you. I think if there is any increased cost in any of our reports, then it always comes back to us in a workshop, and then it's always passed to the council meeting, councillor Hall. That's exactly how we do things here now. So I'm putting it to you, councillors, all four. Thank you, unanimous. Mayoral minute number 3, targeted waste education and awareness program. I need a mover for that. And councillor Blackmore, councillor Hall, and we've all taken it and read it.
Yes.
All right, so I'm putting it to you. All in favour? This is all very good. I might win. So tonight we have public forum is our next agenda, and we have one speaker. Oh, sorry, take that back. Take that back. Sorry. Items by exception. So I move that in accordance with the section 13 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice, the items below be dealt with by exception and that they be adopted as recommended by a single motion. So we'll start with the first one. So it's GMU1, page 39.
No.
Draft.
I think it's
I just said no.
mistakes. in
Sorry?
here.
Yeah, I think there is a date. I'm not sure the date is correct.
Our council meeting should be
Stop.
on March, not on June. We are here today.
Date,
Page 39.
half of the report. Page 39.
Just a,
Yes, it should be March.
Yeah, March 7th.
Was it the March meeting?
This
Page 39.
Page
Draft
39.
Kensington
Purpose of report.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can that be adjusted, or do we need to
We can deal with that as an administrative.
level? Okay, so was that your only question on that, councillor? Fine, so do you mind if we just put it through as an exception now? Thank you very much. Okay. All good? Yep. Page 145, GMU2, the FIFA Worldwide Cup live site. Page 147, CCS1, the mayoral and councillor annual fees. Page 200, CCS2, sundry debtor write-offs. Page 202, CCS3, investment report. Page 223, CCS4, tenders advised and awarded in April and May 2023. Page 224, CCS5, current status of council resolutions. Page 231, CCS6, working with the community churches and organisations. Page 235, CCS7, small grant application for Marion Court. Page 224, CCS8, small grant application for Miss Victoria McFarlane. Page 252, CCS9, small grant report for the Rotary Club of, we have to,
Have to come out.
sorry. Page 285, CCS10, small grant application, Homebush West Public School. Page 299, CCS11, Council Workshop, 30th of May 2023. Page 303, EO1 draft public space advertising policy. We go to 316, 11.1 report from the Multicultural and Diversity Advisory Committee, May 2023. 322, 11.2 report from traffic. You want to pull that? Yeah. 361, 12.1 Indian Independence Day, Councillor Raj Data. All good. 362, 12.2 Councillors Expenses Facilities Policy, Councillor Raj Data. Are we pulling that or are we voting for it?
What do you?
We're leaving it? I'd like to pull it. Thank you. 363, 12.3 Uluru Statement from the Heart and Proposed Referendum, Councillor Hall. 364, 12.4 Establishing a Review Panel for Rejected Applications under Part O of the Strathfield Development Control Plan, Councillor Blackmore. 365 Poker Machines in Strathfield Town Centre, the social and economic harm to Strathfield residents. And 368 Developing Homebush, page 368, Developing Homebush West Shopping Centre, Councillor Benjamin Chine.
I'll move those, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor, and you've seconded it, Councillor Reddy. All those in favour? Wonderful. All right. Sorry. Oh, I declare that unanimous. Okay, items by exception. Okay, so now we have the public forum, and we have one speaker tonight, councillors, Mrs. Lestrange. Mrs. Lestrange, you have 3 minutes to address our council, and you can come up to the podium here, or you can speak there. People will want to see your beautiful face, Mrs. Lestrange, on camera. Got to face the camera. Breaking it. Oh, fine.
Do you need a mic?
No, no, no. We'll be able to hear you. Okay, thank you, David. If you could, thank you.
Good evening, all of you. I think there's some concerns I'd like to discuss with one council, in antiquity, next council. Below. Senior judge was board residents, no further parking. And even council set one school box. That's happened. We'll have another cat. Another next topic. Reality of by subsequent councils. That 1250 cap would be replaced by a 14. Again, because they're now talking of 70. Roads, rounds, at residential space, but which carry traffic to other schools. Our aim was to ensure safety for all residents and children by keeping the buses to the east side of the school and cut traffic. We kept the traffic flowing without any problem at Francis Street roundabout. Now, council has allowed the park and ride to come around the corner of Shortland Avenue. It should have gone around the corner against Inverse Park. Then the traffic would have continued to flow from Shortland into Fraser and out through Edgar and Marion Road. And we had a free flow of traffic around the centre. This no longer occurs, and we have queuing across the Francis Street intersection. There has been some attempt by the school to improve this, but how long that will stay, I don't know. One thing I do know is that they will maintain the need for having Shortland Avenue. Oh, that's our pickup zone. We want Fraser Street for ourselves. The school can't go on claiming all the residential streets in the area. The traffic needs to be able to access. And when we had it accessing from the west for pickups, it flowed quite well, and there was a reasonable, yes, you inevitably get some hold-ups at peak periods, but it was a better arrangement than having traffic queuing right along Shortland Avenue to Mackenzie Street, which I've seen happen on occasion.
Is that,
Council's approved, sorry,
that's time's up, Mrs. Lestrange. Do you have much more to go?
I
Do we need to move one more minute?
could have one more minute.
Yeah, can't move one more minute for an extension. Thank you.
One of the assets that's helped the traffic at the present moment is the staggered passing time. Whether these remain, question, had staggered starting times approved by the school numerous occasions. They've never been upheld. So it's something which residents will need to watch. It's very important for council to consider the student numbers. Cats is not an isolated school. In Albert Road alone, you've got Girls High School, Murray Bashir Primary, the ACU, and St. Pat's. And crossing all of those is the traffic at Homebush Falls. These parents are all using the same group of residential street, and there just is not room to have every school at 2,000. There are too many school students trying to move at the same time. And I think if council allows these schools to continue expanding, there will be a serious accident. Or if there is ever an emergency,
No way.
I wonder how people will get out. Added to that, you have 2 Montessori primary schools in Beresford and
Albert.
Arthur Street. They are going to generate a lot of their own traffic, and you've got Homebush Primary School and Homebush West Primary School also generating traffic. And the
Biggest problem of our whole LGA.
it's a problem with the whole LGA, but it's a particular area, and it's one where council can control. It really does need to. Many years ago, I suggested to Virginia, when she actively said that all archiving should take place at 3 years. Anything 3 years old had to be archived. that if that was the case, a frontispiece on every school or large company needed to state what conditions had been placed on the school. As far as I know, this has never been done, but I would recommend it to council as a way of actively keeping councils aware of the restrictions which have been placed on future building, future numbers, transport conditions, and so on, because these are very, very important. And if at the end of council's 3 years, everything gets archived, nobody knows what one council has done or the next council, and things get overlooked.
Good point. Very good point. Thank you, Mrs. Lestrange.
And I am sure you'll be very happy to know that this is the last time I'll be bothered.
No, it's something that I was going to say. We're going to miss you.
Finally going in, I hope.
So we hope that you have a very, very safe travel and that you're with your loving family in England and that your life ahead is wonderful. All right. And you take care and don't forget us. We want to hear what's happening over there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Lestrange.
I'm wondering whether we could get some more of those details about the traffic around the Francis Street and the.
We're having a school traffic forum in June, and with all the principals and the teachers from each school are attending our traffic forum on the 22nd of June, and we all get together and talk about how we can improve the area. So have you been notified?
No. So could you?
Yeah, sure. Sure. So let's all work together to make the streets better. But you know, we're growing. Our population's got to double in 2050, 60, 60, 40. We're getting bigger anyway. So we need to have our strategies set up. Right. Thank you, Mrs. Lestrange. Okay, so we go to the matrix now. Reports to council.
No, that's the, where's she going?
Bella, where have you gone?
Shirley.
Leave the room.
Actually, leave the room.
You want to hide in the kitchen?
Yeah, that's
Which one's you?
So funny. Okay, councillors, CCS9 small grant report for Rotary Club of Stratfield.
I'll move that, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Blackmore is very eager tonight. Councillor Reddy seconded it. Any discussion, councillors? All in favour? Unanimous. Thank you very much. So you can call Councillor Hall back into the room.
Councillor Dowd, I believe you have a conflict on this item. You may need to.
Yeah, I have a conflict.
On the next one?
Not next one, confidential.
On
It's
the
not confidential. The
confidential.
next one, the next one is the one,
Oh, yes.
Councillor Dowd.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, okay,
But everyone just stay calm, and I know you're all trying to get through the
We're
meeting,
very
but we,
excited about the meeting, yeah.
but we need to
Councillor,
just-
Madam Mayor.
keep our down a little bit. Okay. So the next one is, yes, Exeter Road.
I'll move it, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Confidential one, is it?
Thank you, councillor Blackmore, seconded by councillor Reddy. Now, councillors, councillor Data had to leave the meeting, but if there's any discussion on this report, it will need to be done in a closed meeting. Is there any discussion? No discussion on the report? So we can vote now. So all in favour? Unanimous vote, thank you. So Raj can come back in. So we're up to 322.
11.2.
Oh, yes, okay.
Page,
I'll move that, Madam Mayor.
one moment, councillors. Sorry, councillors, we have to go. Sorry, councillor Data, can you leave the room? We've done something incorrect in the last motion.
Oh, right, okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
So it was in the report.
So we'll need to recommit.
I'll need to recommit this report, councillors. I need a mover for that. Councillor Blackmore, seconded by councillor Reddy. Now I need to move into closed session. Can we do it now? Or do you want to leave it till the end?
We'll do it later.
Do you want to do it now? We can.
We'll need to pause the video.
Do it in the closed session.
You could deal with it in,
I can deal with it in item 15. Can we recommit it?
We can
okay,
stop.
we can stop.
Oh, we can stop it if we want to do it now. All right, let's do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah.
She's doing it on the agenda now.
So
Yeah.
to
Not that.
That was a unanimous vote.
Move that into closed session.
we'll have to have for the minutes that's what you decided.
Okay,
Have to recall Raj?
not yet. So I move that the decision made at council in closed session was the recommendation that council determines the preferred option as follows, that council does not proceed with the deed of lease. Seconded, moved it by councillor Blackmore, seconded by councillor Chai. All in favour? All in agreement, unanimous. Thank you. Now we're back to traffic. Yeah, 11.2, page 322. Councillor Data. Bakuda.
We've got the mover and seconder for 11.2.
Yes, so
Yeah,
I
I moved.
moved and seconded by councillor Reddy.
Okay, so what we've got in, so this is the traffic committee. So it came to my attention, and I have received email and discussions in page 333. And since the time that that I was first on council in 2017, and prior to that, the South Strathfield shops have complained bitterly about parking, about the no stopping that's already there, about the customers and being fined along that stretch of road. Complaints about the residents that can't park in front of their houses because, you know, at 3 o'clock they have to move their cars. So, you know, I've had since before I started and ever since complaints, and I think we've been able to stop this a couple of times from happening. And one time a few years ago, the RMS even tried to do this. And then it came to a bit of a shock when council has increased the stopping times. So it's not fair on the residents, it's not fair on the shop owners. We've been able to put this off for a very long time, and we need to continue to put this off. So I want to move a recommendation that that the minutes of the traffic committee held on the 16 May 2023 be noted and the recommendations be adopted, and excluding recommendation at item 6.2 on page 10 of the traffic committee meeting, and that no change be made at that location. Not fair on our residents, not fair on the shopkeepers. South Strathfield, that small little pocket there of shop owners is already suffering so much. They were supposed to get an upgrade. That we don't know what happened to that, despite there being a big sign saying upgrade, and there were pictures and all sorts of things. They've really suffered, and I think to put this on them after we have been able to successfully put this off for such a long time, and now to come council. So I would ask that you would support the recommendation not to proceed with item 6.2, which I believe it is.
So I need a seconder for that motion. Councillor Reddy, want to talk on it, councillor?
I'm good.
You're good?
Happy with the recommendation.
Okay, so if you read the recommendation at the end here, councillor Hall, in number 3 says further that council notify the affected businesses and residents of the change prior to implementation. So they're going to be consulted before any change occurs.
So, sorry, it doesn't say consultation. It says prior to implementation. So this motion says that it's going to be implemented. We're just going to tell you about it before it's done.
And they're arguing about 1 hour.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's an hour or whatever. We have put this off for so long, and they've had the council support. They've had the council support for years, and now, and look at now we're sort of, you know, I understand we have new staff, and you know we don't always know the history of it, but the history is that, and unfortunately, you know, because it was I couldn't get there, but the history is such that we have put this off so many times. The shop owners had to fight the RMS, and we pushed the RMS back. They wanted to do something on the other side. They wanted to do something similar, and we were able to stop the RMS from doing it. So if we were able to stop the RMS, and we would put this off on from council, and we've always had the councillors support in the past. I understand there's new people now, but the history is the history, and we cannot forget what the history is and how this is going to and why it's never been changed.
I understand that, councillor. Councillor Blackmore.
I know I did discuss this with you earlier, Councillor Hall, but I've actually had a better look at it. It's only a matter of
1
a
hour.
couple of car spots
It doesn't matter. They only
for 1 hour. So
they don't have car spots already.
But there's 5 spots in the traffic committee. We were told that in the northern side there were 5 spots that are available, and it would not take up, and it would not reduce any parking. And that's why it was passed for 1 hour.
it's a matter of, well, from when I discussed with you, I thought it was a number of car spots. So
It is.
No, it's 2
only a
car
couple of car
spaces.
spots
2 car
for 1
spaces.
hour,
They're already.
Monday to Friday. So I can't.
And
Okay.
the
I'm not gonna support that, actually.
Councillor Hall, you have spoken, but you can speak again to finalise. But from what the traffic committee and the reports that we've received from residents being held up at that traffic light for over 20 minutes to cross Liverpool Road is quite substantial, and that's why the report had been made, and that's why the recommendations were put through, because the backup of traffic goes right down to High Street, and the delay can be up to 20 minutes to just get onto Liverpool Road. Yeah.
What's the concern with that?
Stand up.
What is, could you just articulate your concern, the loss of that 1 hour parking in that area? Well, is it, if that's going to free the traffic up and make a better flow, cars that are coming in and out of there, what's the issue? It's only 1 hour.
Okay, when you say it's only one, it's only people, the Uber drivers are only picking up urgent prescription from the pharmacy for 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And yet how many of times have they been booked? A number of times, 2 minutes. So when we say just an hour, it's only an hour. 2 minutes they're there to quickly park with their hazards light, pick up some urgent medication, get into their car, and they've been booked because a ranger happens to be driving past and taking a photo. So when we're talking an hour, these guys have been screaming for parking, and we're taking away even 2 parking spots for them is huge. 2 parking spots for them is absolutely huge. The other issue is, yeah, I agree. It does take residents a number of a while to get past. But what you have to remember is 95% of people that are stuck in that time on Homebush roads are not residents. 95% of
And how do you know this, councillor?
do a survey. Let's do a survey. And I can, because very few people, the schools are all on this side. They're not on that side. And the people, it's a thoroughfare from people that go from that side of the city to, the south side of the city to go down to the
We
north side.
can't just say that they're
In
not
saying
residents.
In saying that, we know that it's a thoroughfare. Okay, you can see the traffic coming from Belfield. You can see the traffic coming from Belmore. You can see the traffic coming from the other end.
But you can do that at any intersection in Strathfield, councillor.
But the
I'm
point
sorry, we're not an island.
The point is, I'm finished. The point is that what we are doing is we are making life difficult for our residents that live there, that have shops there, that are already suffering. We're making life difficult for them for a thoroughfare, for a road that belongs to the residents. It's not, they should
Okay,
be,
councillor,
should be using, no, I've still got 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever I've got.
you've done your three.
Put a boom gate.
Put a boom gate on Strathfield.
I'd be happy with the boom gate. So the point is that at the end of the day,
Ring the bell,
at the end of the day,
please.
you have to.
Thank you. She needs to hear it. Yes.
Oh, that was good. Okay, I didn't realise that. But no, this is really, it's not fair on them. It really isn't. And that's fine. I mean, they'll.
Okay, councillors. Okay, thank you, councillor Hall. Thank you. Any other discussion, councillors? So I put it to you for 1 hour.
It's not just 1 hour.
Sorry, it is just 1
Well,
hour.
then why are these?
Councillor,
drivers from picking up-
Councillor,
No, why these,
councillor,
who's the one that was out of order?
I was not out of order. Councillor, can you just wait? And I'm putting it to you to vote. All in favour of Nella Hall's motion?
That's fine, as long as.
That's great. Oh, sorry, all in favour, councillor Chai, councillor Reddy, councillor Hall, councillor Data, against councillor Blackmore, councillor Pensabini. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's
The
carried.
residents to call you.
Right, okay.
But I sound passionate.
So 362, page 362, 12.2, councillor expenses, 362. So I move, who's moving that one? Councillor Data, seconding councillor Reddy. Councillor Data, do you want to speak on this?
Sure. Briefly. I think there was an email that we have seen, so just wanted to put some context because many people who are not here. Some of the things discussed or started. There was a time around 2010-11, the Rangers used to deliver the papers to everybody's house for every meeting. Papers were delivered to every councillor at every meeting. And there was a time when we thought about how to gain more efficiency. Then computer, we were giving some laptops so that we wouldn't they stopped delivery of the business papers. So and the laptop became the medium gain efficiency, and that definitely we all accepted that there is significant gain in efficiency. And then that $3,000 that we see now never was there. Then because of buying the laptop and few other things, the $3,000 came in. It was not. When I first started in the council, I said that I asked her that what explain to me what the whole definition. It has been the same thing for all the years that I have been. So, but I have seen people come new and they interpret it differently, and there is no problem with that. People do it, have the right to interpret. And but I just wanted to make sure that it remains consistent. And all I have said that the $1,500 that it remains the same. We do not want any increase, but it should be consistent, should be so that the people coming new or old, they do not have to go through the difficulties of interpreting. That's all it is. And last $3,000 that was given when we started the council, we were given a Google laptop. I have never used it. I do not know how many of you use it. Most ineffective tool that was bought, and I'm sure that the GM who bought it, he thought he has saved a lot of money. And so what I do, I personally, I use my laptop, I move it, push it to my computer, then I read it. We do not have a tool. People who knows how to use computers, you need multiple screens. Sometimes we do read long documents, we want to compare documents, want to see multiple things. We do not have any device. And like many of you, I'm also very time pressed. And I want to do more. There is no, this is public service. We are not here for money. The public services, and we have limited time. We want efficiency. And somebody thinking this for establishing home office is, to me, it is the most effective, productive uses of funding council. There are a lot of things I have mentioned before, and I'll go through it where we can gain real efficiency. This $1,500, what I'm saying is it is not an extra money. The money is there. All we need to make sure that years to come, people do not have to go through this discussion and debate again and again because some newcomers or some will think it means something else.
Thank you.
All money is in the budget. There is no budgeting for it. It is in the process. All we are doing is making it consistent, and that is the fundamental definition.
Thank Time's up. Thank you, Councillor.
Is the time up?
Yep, the bell rang.
A question.
Sure, Councillor.
In the current policy, it just says home office expenses. Am I missing something that,
The $1,500?
yes, it says home office expenses.
Yes.
Something that, there's something that you want to purchase, councillor Data,
That's not.
not isn't
home
under
office.
this policy?
Memo, do you want to,
Can I just get an explanation?
sorry,
A little bit confused.
that was a question to you, Councillor Dado. It's, Councillor Blackmore has pointed out that the money is for home office
That's
expenses.
correct. The home office. Now it is about the definition of home office. So the definition of home office that I have come to know over the years, that's what I have just explained. The home office means like if I, for my work, when I say home office, I have bought home office work, I have bought stuff for my home office because a lot of the time we are working from home. And that's the kind of thing. You bought a chair, you bought a bookshelf, maybe you bought whatever you need. It's not just somebody, that's the study. I work in the industry, that's normal standard home office means.
Sure.
Think that you.
One moment, I don't think you're
Yeah, sorry,
explaining.
Data. But I think it does say home office expenses. So I don't think there is no definition. So are you trying to make it? Or-
So can an explanation, I think Mr. Mann might be able to give us a little bit more of an explanation.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So definition in the council's expenses policy, it is on, it's on page 12, item 2.2.47. So each councillor may be reimbursed up to $1,500 per year for costs associated with the maintenance of a home office, such as minor items of consumable stationery and cartridges. So it doesn't extend itself to printers or bookshelves or office chairs. So in considering this motion before it was put on, and you'll note the officer's comment that's been provided, we did talk to other councils and we did talk to the OLG about the definition. The definition that we have in our expenses policy is consistent with the template definition that is issued by the OLG and by the other councils that we've talked to. The councils that we did talk to have an allowance of somewhere between $100 and $500, and they do strictly adhere to it is purely for consumables such as pens, paper, printer ink.
Councillor Reddy.
I just support,
Through the chair.
I would like to support that motion because things are changing. Before internet was nothing. We used to have this typewriter was mandatory. Now nobody cares for typewriter. Having a chair is, now we don't need a normal chair because these days we sit for longer hours, sit in our chairs, and so I think it's reasonable to have a decent chair which supports our backs. End of the day, it's something like workplace health and safety. We are working from home as well. It's not that I'm trying to do my office work from my home and claim to the council. Council papers do take a long time to read, and for person like me, I need to read it like twice and then call somebody and ask again. So we do work hard. So I think it's reasonable. The definition keeps changing. It's not always printers. Probably we might not use printer. We might use more of computer or sitting on the chair or maybe a leg rest or something else. Extending the scope of definition would be preferable. Then we would like to vote for it.
Laptop, and then 1,500 for But that's only printers and stuff. Right. Any other discussion, councillors? You're okay? Or okay, I'll put it to councillors, all in favour? Councillor Chai, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Hall, Councillor Data, all against? Councillor Blackmore and Councillor Pensabeni. Right,
With time.
so we need to define the 1,500 in more. We'll have to have a report that comes back. Yeah, pull that carry, sorry. Yeah. Any questions with notice? No, there's matters of urgency? No? Confidential matters, we've done. And it's now, what time is it? 7:26.
Sorry, Madam Mayor,
Sorry, councillor.
was not in the meeting, but can I have the privilege to know what the decision was?
I read it to you, councillor.
I think.
I read it when it was open again. That we've decided not to close the, we decided not to close. Oh,
We'll send you.
I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, okay. Thank you, councillors. 7:27, I call the meeting closed.
Congratulations.